to a brand new week on Afternoon Express Mzansi. I'm Palisa Tembe, and today we're exploring the benefits of physical touch with pets and animals as we now live in an era where human contact is being discouraged. We meet Debbie Patton, a former Switzerland dweller who became known as Monkey Mom through her volunteering. Animal rescuer Neri Naidu breaks down how the pandemic has led her to feeding the owners of the animals she takes care of. And we're kicking it all off with animal communicator and healer Diane Budd, who will explain the importance of physical touch between humans and animals. Now, no one forgets their first. So we want to find out from you on social media, what was the first pet you've ever had? Happy Monday, ladies.
Happy Monday, Palisa. How are you doing? We are doing quite well. Hi, Jenny. How are you?
Well, I was applying some lipstick because my lip had disappeared. I'm fine, baby. How are you?
I'm great. I think you had a lovely weekend with it being Mandela weekend.
Absolutely.
Mandela Day.
Fed my soul, darling.
Glad.
Fed my soul. We made sandwiches. We collected food. It was good.
Well, we're going to feed you as a nation, South Africa. Today, we're going to be making some butter chicken-inspired shawarmas using our Clover Classic. For all the recipe details, all the information, go on to afternoonexpress.co.za. But let us speak to the animal whisperer, Diane Budd.
Today we're joined by Diane Budd, practicing animal communicator and healer. She'll be chatting to us about physical touch in the time of COVID-19 between animals and humans. Welcome to the loft, Diane.
Thank you very much.
Diane, we love our furry family members, and so much emphasis, though, has been placed on our own mental health during this time that we've often forgotten about our animals. So how important is it for humans to think about the mental health of our pets?
Well, it's extremely important. What a lot of people don't realize is that animals have just as much emotions as we do. So they love unconditionally, they grieve, they laugh, they cry, they make jokes. So everything that we feel, our animals can feel as well. And sometimes we don't realize how we get wrapped up in our everyday lives that it can have an effect on our animals. And when you typically know that something is up with your animal, you'll probably find that there'll be a behavioral change. So they might all of a sudden stop eating, or they might distance themselves from the family. So for instance, they might, if there's normally a cuddly dog that sits on your lap, and all of a sudden they're withdrawing themselves and they're sitting in the corner, or they're choosing to leave the room, that tells us something's going on. And then normally what we do is we say, has anything changed in the household, or what is going on with me, and how can I help my animal?
Now, girl, you speak to animals all day, day. So I want to find out from you, how have animals been able to cope with COVID?
Well, for me, it depends on the species. I generally find that dogs have loved lockdown simply because we're lucky that we've gone into winter, that it's a more cozy time. They get love, they get attention, they get food. And so, yes, the dogs in general have enjoyed it. What they haven't enjoyed is the anxiety being experienced by our humans. Cats in the beginning loved it. And then after a while, because they are far more independent creatures, they started distancing themselves. So you would find that they a little bit irritated, and then they'd leave their family home and stay out a little bit longer than normal.
Diane, what advice would you suggest for people returning to work as lockdown eases that they can help their animals with?
I would advise them to play more, to stimulate their animals, to reassure them that this has been more like a holiday and that it's time to go back to work. And when you leave home, tell them what time you'll be back. Say to them, you'll be back, if you're only popping out to the shops, that you'll be back at 4 o'clock, so that they know, or they have a specific time when to expect you. Animals can tell time. They can tell 5:05 from 5:10. And that makes a big difference in their lives. And then especially with dogs, try give them something to chew on before you leave, so that they don't feel the time lapse as much. You know, the day goes a lot quicker if you've got something nice to chew on.
It seems like people's pet puppies and myself have a lot in common. As soon as I'm chewing on something, time definitely does fly by. But it's so interesting that you say this because, you know, here at work, we always speak about our families and our pets, and we're a family unit. And one of our members here at work was saying that their roommate has a dog that loved lockdown because of that attention and that care that you spoke about. But as soon as the owner had to go back to work, they found the puppy sulking, they found the puppy depressed, and they had to find YouTube videos as to how to lighten up the puppy's life and bring back and bounce back that life into them. So we are seeing what you're talking about.
You know, I'd say I've never yet, in all the years that I've been practicing, there's never been more animals on things like Prozac before, and Prozac's an antidepressant. Simply because of the state of anxiety and the depression that is out there. So there's severe anxiety and severe depression. So it really is key that you keep a lookout for certain behavioral changes that must happen.
What have some of the most common responses that you've received about this period of lockdown and COVID?
So dogs were they loved it at first, but then they realized that they weren't walked, especially if you had a dog that was walked every day. So there was a lot of frustration in terms of why is everybody inside and why is everybody not leaving to go outside? So you would find that some of them would start pacing. Then we had also overeating, where animals were eating too much because we were eating too much. But then in some ways that was a good thing because we got to sharing our food a lot more. One of the things that they didn't like is being separated from their friends. So if they went to doggy daycare, but I really miss my friends, and they'd describe who the friends were. Another thing that I've also found out, also realized through conversations with them, is that owners have noticed that their animals are battling with certain physical ailments that they didn't notice before. So, for instance, they've got the time and the attention now to pay attention to their pets. So they'll notice that their animal is walking with stiffness, and maybe it's time to get a mineral supplement to help that.
Now, I have to find out from you, physical touch is something that we're lacking as humans right now because of the social distancing restrictions. So then how powerful is physical touch between humans and animals?
Well, it's essential. You know, sometimes we don't always have to touch an animal. We can just sense intuitively how that animal is feeling but for us, it's quite a human thing to want to touch. And for domesticated animals in particular, they like being touched and they like being stroked. And that's an outlet. It's proven to be a stress reliever that when you stroke your animal, you feel a lot better. And that is why we've got a lot of therapy animals going into old age homes and places like that. So because of the therapeutic touch that it gives to humans, and also the peace and quiet that comes with it.
So, Diane, lastly, do you have any positive feedback about COVID and animals?
Yes, it's been quite interesting. Our vets have never been as busy as they have been during lockdown, and any vet that you'll speak to will say that. The number of animals that have been fostered out and adopted has been phenomenal. And I think that is something really that a lot of people should take credit for, and well done to everybody for uniting and taking care of our animals.
And thank you, Diane, for not only joining us here on Afternoon Express, but for healing and communicating to our furry loved ones, because sometimes we can be a bit self-absorbed, forgetting about the other furry members of our family. So thank you for the reminder, and thank you for spreading that love.
Pleasure.
Now on social media, I want to find out from you, have you picked up any change in behavior when it comes to your pets and COVID-19? We would love to hear more. Remember to use that hashtag Afternoon Express.
Do you know that I support an organisation called Pets as Therapy?
Oh.
And what happens is, you know, people have got dogs that they can dance and they can prance and they're very entertaining.
Oh, wow.
And some of them even dress the little pets up and take them to old age homes, take them to children in hospital. And it's incredible how, like this lady was saying about touch, it calms you down. And it's wonderful for the animals that they just love. It's like a service dog. It's in a wonderful organisation. It's called Pets as Therapy.
That sounds amazing, Pali. Palisa, I mean, I also have a pet myself, and I know that during this time it's been very hard on her. She loves physical touch, so I know she definitely misses me a lot.
So this is Oreo missing Utumi, and I love that you mentioned an organization that is literally doing everything we just spoke about with Debbie. That is so outstanding. But on social media, South Africa, you have done it again, and you keep surprising me time and time again with just reporting and just engaging with us online. So let's head over here to Michelle Rubenheimer. And Michelle Rubenheimer says, I hated dogs, was bitten too much, but I started to get lonely because my son got bigger. So I got myself a puppy. At 5 months old, he died. A year after that, we got 2 doggies again, and they are my world, and they are Bruno and Witfoot. I love that, Michelle.
That sounds amazing.
That is so cute. Okay, I also want to read one more from Dineo, and Dineo says, my first pet that I ever had was my ferocious dog named Beef. Get it?
Wow.
A ferocious dog named Beef. And then Dineo says, but it's no more. It had died, but because I love animals, I decided to find my cute cat. How delicious, how cute. I love the furry friends. Let's keep the conversation going online. Now, imagine being a corporate city dweller whose life turned upside down when COVID-19 pandemic hit. Coming up, we speak to Debbie Patton, who tells us about how she became known as the Monkey Mom through her volunteering at a foundation.
Express yourself.
meet Monkey Mom, a city girl who moved to the bush. Life was good, but then COVID hit. Like so many, her life came to an abrupt stop. And to chat to us about her time spent as a volunteer looking after baby monkeys is Deborah Patton. Deborah, welcome to The Loft.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you.
Now, Debbie, please may you tell us about how you earned the title Monkey Mom.
Well, I saw an advert on a Facebook post looking for a volunteer mom for the Vervet Monkey Foundation based in Zanin, and I applied and to my surprise, I got the job, and now here I am, and my job day involves wandering around, washing bottles, filling bottles, making bottles, delivering them for babies, and basically just taking care of all little orphans on the sanctuary.
Oh, my heart just melts thinking of how your daily activities look like, because those little monkeys are absolutely adorable and are truly something to be treasured. Now, Deborah, you went from a corporate job to living in the bush. Can you tell us about life before COVID hit and how you went after your passion?
Sure. I have two beautiful kids. I was a single mom. I brought them up on my own. And in 2014, my daughter left to go and work in America, and my son was accepted at ECT. So I thought, well, they kind of don't need me anymore. I was working in advertising, high-paid job, lots of stress. But I thought, I need to do something for myself, something less pressurized, something I'd enjoy, because they didn't need me anymore. And again, through Facebook, I saw a random post about a owner of a game reserve looking for a PA, and it turned out it was Francoise Alhalbi, wife of Lawrence Anthony, who wrote The Elephant Whisperer, based at Tula Tula, and she also hired me as her PA, and I went from being scared of pigeons to go and live in the bush. It was hectic. I mean, snakes everywhere, rhinos, elephants. My second day on duty as a PA, my job was to help bury a crocodile that had passed away.
On your second day, Deborah.
My second day.
What an initiation.
Manager, and just make sure it's buried deep so the scavengers can't get at it. And that's how my life began. So literally from screaming like most women when we see a spider to having mambas in my bedroom and rhinos trying to meet me. And yeah,
Wow.
it was amazing. And I spent nearly 9 months there, and then went back to Cape Town for a little bit, but then headed back to the bush, and I worked in a reserve near Kruger Park. Again, getting chased. I had to carry a broom to go from office to the kitchen in case the ostriches were around, because the male ostrich would chase me. But if I had a broom, I looked taller, so I'd just hold it above my head and he'd leave me alone.
So, Deborah...
it was a wonderful life. And then I ended up in St. Lucia. And that's where I was before COVID hit. I was working for a small little company, organizing snorkeling trips to Cape Vidal, bushwalks, safaris and things, and having a really good life. I was very happy and content.
Describe how quickly, though, life changed for you once COVID hit.
It was in a day. 24th of March, we got notification of the impending lockdown. 25th of March, I was called into the office and said, sorry, they have to retrench me with immediate effect. All bookings were cancelled, no tourists coming, nothing they could do, no money, no savings. They said I could stay in the flat till the end of April, so I had 1 month's notice. But other than that, final pay was in March. And yeah, that was it.
Deborah, I can only imagine how life had to change at a blink of an eye, from the busy, bustling city life to the humble bush life. And now you are happily living at the foundation. So what have been some of the physical changes that you've had to adapt to since being at the foundation?
I think the biggest one is the physicality of the job. So I'm walking about 10 to 12 kilometers every day. I think I probably walked 3 kilometers or 4 kilometers at most before. So it's a very physical job. It gets quite hot here in the mornings. It's cold when you start. And then the food. It's a vegan lifestyle. I'm a Big Mac and milkshake girl. So I'm missing my cappuccinos and my teas. I can't quite get my head around soy milk. So yeah, it's the diet and the physicality. Yeah, definitely.
I feel you, sis. I felt you there. Now, you have come to learn so much about animals that you're working with. So what would you like to share with the rest of South Africa about these beautiful animals?
Before, like everybody, I thought of monkeys maybe as sort of a pest. At the guest houses where I worked and I had to chase them away from the breakfast table, etc. But we do have to realize we're in their property. We came into where they're living in their areas and built up. And they're just trying to survive. And we just need to learn to live together with them, make a plan and be peaceful and not see them as pests. They're beautiful, loving and caring creatures. And I see that every day, just how they interact. And there's nothing cuter than a baby running up to you for its bottle and squeaking with appreciation. It's just, so we just need to learn to live together with our animals and enjoy them for what they are.
Thank you for spreading that message and helping all those animals that you connect with daily at the foundation. We appreciate all of your help and your love. And shout out to your 2 children, your human children, who allowed mommy to go chase her passion regardless. We appreciate you for reminding us that it's never too late to chase those dreams. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Thanks for touching. Bye.
I mean, South Africa, would you have the guts and the courage to do the same? Do as Deborah and stop it all and touch Mother Nature again. Head over to our social media platforms and let us know how this story has touched you. Head over to Facebook, Twitter or Instagram and use that hashtag Afternoon Express.
You know, to me, I don't know if I'd have the guts to kind of leave everything behind. I do it in a different way. I support people who do what this lady has done. Now, I know a lady called Julie Marzia, for instance, who she does so much good work in the Lakeside Township. She inoculates, she takes the animals to the vet and blah, blah, blah. So here you have shelter and you have food, but people forget that warmth is the most important part of shelter. People think because an animal has got fur on its back, it depends on how much fur they've got. They need warmth, you know. So I've been making these little Jenny love rugs for I can't even tell you how many years, forever, from scrap wool. I beg the public, I say, there, have a look. Give me your scraps of wool. And I tie them together and make these love rugs. And I've just donated 30 now to the Lakeside project.
I know you make these for the little ones, but I'd love one for myself and my Oreo palace. I mean, that looks very intricate and very beautiful and very warm.
It's very easy to do.
No, okay, because speaking about intricacy, how long does that take you to put together, Jenny?
I can do in 2 nights, because see, I'm like a night owl. I don't sleep. So my husband goes mad because he can feel this.
And you're just putting it all together. Oh, thank you so much for giving back in that way and showing the animals some love, some comfort, and most importantly, some of that warmth.
Yes.
Now on social media, we have been asking you all, what was your very first pet? And let's share some of those reminiscent moments. We've got Josephine Pixton, and she says, my first pet is my beautiful Pitty, always in bed, hashtag Afternoon Express. And she shared that beautiful photo of this gorgeous dog snuggled in there, keeping warm. Speaking about warmth.
Exactly. They need it. They need it. Yeah.
They need that warmth. Now, coming up, South Africa, we meet Neri Naidu, an animal rescuer who runs the Phoenix Animal Care and Treatment Facility. She'll be breaking down the feeding scheme that she established for the owners of the animals she cares for.
Express yourself.
animal rescuer and founder Neri Naidu, who chats to us about her organization called the Phoenix Animal Care and Treatment Center, who assists with animals and their owners within the community. Welcome to the Loft, Neri.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness,
And
Neri, who is that bundle of joy who is on your lap resting so comfortably?
Well, she's quite a big bundle of joy. Her name is Crumpet, and she's a rescue dog, rescued by PACT. She's been with us since 2012.
Oh, Neri and Crumpet, it is an honor to have you both on Afternoon Express. Now let's talk about your organization and the work that you do with animals.
Okay, so PACT was founded in March of 2012. We saw a need in our community to help abandoned animals, stray animals. Our core mandate is to sterilize, because we believe by sterilizing, we reduce the number of unwanted, abused, and neglected animals. So that's one of our core values and what we do the most. But we do rescue and we rehabilitate and we rehome. And since March of 2012, we've done just close to 30,000 animals. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Neri, is that the number of animals you've been able to take care of since you've been operating?
Close to 30,000. This includes animals that we've taken out from their circumstances and we've rehabilitated them and rehomed. These are also animals that we run part of our township program, which is where we go to households where people are very underprivileged and they sometimes don't have food or electricity for themselves. We've taken on the care of their animals then in terms of food and treatment. And it also includes part of our feeding programs in terms of feral cat colonies, etc.
Talk to us about the type of assistance you're providing to these animals, and talk to us about some of the success stories you've encountered.
So we've done quite a lot of successful stories. The ones that stand out the most for me is a little dog named Rex. Rex was basically, we suspect that his leg was broken by his owner when he attacked a bird. And so he was a little Yorkie cross doggy, and we thought we needed to put him down, but we amputated the leg, and he lives quite happy, long life. And then there's another dog named Tila. She came to us completely emaciated, skin and bone. When we offered her food, we had never seen any dog eat food. She was like this close to just eating the bowl as well. But if you look at her now, she's so plump and healthy, and it's just knowing that you've gotten them out of those situations and you've given them the life that they deserve, and to see them so happy, it just made everything so worthwhile.
Neri girl, on that note, I think that you deserve to give yourself a pat on the back, and everyone who is there at the Phoenix shelter helping out in a more desperate way, giving a voice to those who don't have a voice. Now, you've already touched quite briefly on your sterilization, and you as an organization are pro-life, but you're also pro-quality of life. Please may you elaborate on this for us.
So when we get every single animal that comes through the door, we always treat each animal as if they were our own. So the decisions that we make for them are very much based on the decisions we would make for our own pets. But before that happens, we always give them a fair chance. And so we have animals that come into our shelter that they come in with cancer or they come in needing an amputation. I mean, I have a dog that has no eyes. So long as their quality of life is not affected, and so long as they're going through chemo and they're still happy and, they still want to live, we continue. But there always comes a time where you have to make a decision, because quality of life is what it's all about. And so that's what we mean. We are pro-life, but we're more pro-quality of life.
Well, I can only imagine that it's a very difficult decision that you guys have to face whilst you do the incredible work that you do. But to make a difference, you also have to, it comes with a whole lot of responsibility. So thank you so much, and your incredible team, for making those tough decisions and making the incredible change to the lives that are vulnerable. Now, you have started a feeding scheme to help the animal owners as well. Why did you feel compelled to do this?
It's just everyone's taken such a hard knock ever since, the lockdown has happened. And we've seen families lose their jobs, and they were already struggling on minimum wage. So when they were hit with now they have to stay at home and they can't work anymore, they had no food for themselves, leave alone food to feed their pets. So when we started going around and we started feeding animals, we saw that there was such a great need to help these families. And so we decided to start fundraising for hampers. And what we actually do is we go out and we give approximately between 200 and 300 hampers every month, but we have a meal guide inside. So we make sure that we explain to them how to utilize that hamper for 30 meals for a family of 5. So we know that they sort it out for the month, and then we also provide their cats and their dogs with enough food for the month. And so we know we've done something bigger than just going in and feeding the animals. We've now enabled the family to feed themselves, and it gives them time to try to think about what they could do next month. So we're hoping that we can make a difference.
You know, Neri, throughout this entire show this Monday, we are focusing on the family structure and how much of a vital part animals and pets are within this family structure. So the fact that you guys have decided to go above and beyond just helping the pets and helping the actual families that house the pets is truly incredible and truly speaks to the message of today's entire show. Now, what word of encouragement do you have for others who see your work and want to try and follow in your footsteps and help their fellow South Africans?
So I think that, very often we see things that we want to change, but we think we're just one person. I think that we don't have to be a collective unit to make a difference. If each one of us reaches out to just a person or one animal, we can make the difference. And to those people that are currently struggling, there's always hope. And if you got through today, you'll get through tomorrow. Take it one day at a time.
Advising us to take it one day at a time, South Africa. That is Neri Naidu out there in the Phoenix Treatment and Care Center, helping these dogs to get rehabilitated and in turn rehabilitating an entire community. Thank you so much for joining us on Afternoon Express. Cheers.
Bye.
Now, South Africa, are you touched by Neri's story and you also want to lend a helping hand? Head over to our Afternoon Express website, afternoonexpress.co.za, and you can find out all those details as to how you can lend a hand.
Palisa, I'm so happy that we're actually shining a light on Neri and the stuff that she's doing, because it is so beautiful to see that our animals are being loved and looked after, because as an animal lover myself, I mean, it feels great to actually see the work that she's doing.
Yeah. My heart is just gets so touched, I think, every single time we highlight incredible people. I know Jenny is just nodding away ferociously, but it's this excitement that we love to see. But I'm also so excited to share some pictures. Are you ladies ready?
Yes.
Now get your giggling shoes on. Get your cute faces ready, because South Africa, we have got sheer enjoyment here on social media. Everyone is sharing their photos with themselves and their furry friends. So let's kick it off here with Zoe. And Zoe Human here says, Fiona and Shrek Jr. are the loves of my life. Every Christmas, we do a little photo shoot. And then we see Zoe here with her little pets.
Oh.
And as we continue here, we also have Dennis. And Dennis Naidu shared a picture with socks.
Oh my gosh, socks look
I
so
see
adorable.
the socks there.
And we also have Jasmine. And Jasmine decided to switch it up here. We've been enjoying dogs, ne?
Yeah.
But how adorable are these cats?
They're so cute.
And then, okay, we've got another top fan, Josephine, again, sharing another picture. We first saw Josephine's puppy snuggled under the pillows, but now Josephine is enjoying food. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. We'll be enjoying more pictures, though, as the show goes along. Look, I'm already talking about cameras because we've got models in our pets. Okay, coming up, our regular family therapist, Talia Wrestles, calls into the loft to explain the benefits of raising your children with pets in the house.
Express yourself.
we'll be chatting with family therapist and social worker Talia Ressel on the importance of raising kids around animals and the lasting benefits. Welcome back to The Loft, girl.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, you know you are always holding us down here on a Monday when it comes to all things family, but today we want to break down the relationship between children and raising them along with pets. So should children be raised with pets in the first place?
Well, absolutely. I mean, you use the word family. I think for a lot of people, pets are part of their family. And I think that having animals around is a huge benefit. It obviously comes with a lot of responsibility and a lot of costs, I guess, as well. It's a luxury. But the impact on children is really well known, well researched, actually.
And girl, speaking about that research, you know a little something about that yourself. I believe you've also been doing some deep research into the matter. In fact, what impact does animals have on kids?
Well, we know, there's something called animal-assisted therapy, which I actually did some research into, because the animals have got such a therapeutic role that they play with humans. Just the calming presence of a dog or a cat, horses particularly, can really be intuitive, and there's such a phenomenal connection between human and animal that goes above and beyond traditional pet ownership. So I really think that animals have got such a special place within children and families' lives in general.
So what are your thoughts on saying that protection and care for animals starts with the children?
Well, I really think it does start young. With anything, we really want to get behaviors ingrained young so that they become natural, they become the way for the child. But also what we find is by starting at a sort of grassroots young level with anything, whether it was the water conservation, whether it is now more aware with COVID, and washing our hands, and now with animal care, when we start young, it's natural for children. And then they take it on, and those learnings of empathy and caring for others become second nature. And they actually teach the adults.
Yeah, I see exactly how that's possible. Now, what are some of the more visible and long-lasting benefits that we can see take place within our kids if they are raised around animals?
So being around animals teaches kids about the other. So they develop some empathy. It's not just all about them. It's some other being to take care of. Look, you've got responsibilities. Feed them, walk them, care for them, treat them correctly, like how you touch them, how you don't touch them. Other benefits include we see an impact on self-esteem and on their self-confidence for children. Often the pet can be a sense of comfort or companion, like a friend that they can tell all their secrets to. We also see that pets give children an opportunity to learn very vital life lessons, because with your pet, usually that's your first experience of maybe birth, illness, death, loss. You really go through the life cycle with a pet, and those are good learning opportunities for children. And I think that overall, owning the pet can really be valuable life lessons for children. But Pali, it doesn't only have to you don't only have to own the pet. If that's not viable, there's so many other options. Caring for pets within the community, when you go for a walk and you see another dog out, asking, can I touch that dog, and learning about appropriate respect and boundaries. Those are all learning opportunities for children with pets and animals.
Absolutely. I can just remember and just flash back into my own life and my own upbringing. From a very young age, my parents gifted us with pets. My first dog's name was Snoopy, and then I got lucky, and we always had, whether it was rabbits and chickens around the house. And that definitely did instill some of that empathy that you speak about. It definitely instilled some of that selflessness and being like, there is something that's more important than just me, and also allows you to connect on a very different way than you would connect with humans, having that deeper understanding of species and beings. So what are some of the challenges, however, of raising children with pets?
Well, and I just wanted to add, because one thing I didn't mention, which is a very vital part of the role of pets, is they get us up and out. So physical activity, engaging with people, that is really helpful for children maybe who are more shy or not so keen on the physical side of movement. A pet can really push you to do that. But some of the challenges, look, children have to learn
how to handle animals appropriately, because it's not a case of just let the child treat the animal however. Animal rights is very important, and that's a good lesson for children to learn. Children, you got to understand they might be scared, they might be fearful of animals, and again, it's an opportunity for them to learn to work through that appropriately. And I think for families and communities to be aware that yes, we want to bring children on board with learning skills, but it's also got to be age appropriate. So a 3-4-year-old can't always control their impulses and may hurt the animal, and so we can't leave them unattended with animals or give them responsibilities that are beyond their means. So that's just some of the challenges that come along with that, and I think consequences as well, because caring for an animal is a responsibility, and so if you are going to have that privilege to have that, if you do not care for the animal, you do need to consider what's in the animal's best interest and make changes accordingly.
It definitely goes so much deeper than just those viral videos we see with puppies and kittens and little babies. So much deeper than that. So thank you so much for helping us understand some of those benefits and challenges, because yes, it is a double-sided coin. So any final thoughts, advice or tips when it comes to raising kids and pets?
Well, I think that it just should be a decision that is thought through. It's a responsibility to have pets, but what a wonderful opportunity for children. And it's never too late, never too early. There's always opportunities to learn. And again, it doesn't have to be in your home. There are millions of animals volunteer at a shelter. That is so many life lessons all rolled into one that you can teach children that way. And to just continue the learning of caring for others.
Thank you so much, Talia Russell, for coming through and helping us debunk some of the misunderstandings of raising kids and having pets around the household, and showing us some of those incredible positives coming out. We appreciate it. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
They say dog is a man's best friend. Is that true for you and your family at home? Do you find yourself raising a fur baby and making them a part of your family? Please do head over to our social media platforms and share those stories of furry love.
I'm so glad we touched on that topic, Jenny, because for me, I know that growing up without a dog, it was probably the hardest thing, because I was afraid of dogs.
Yes.
I would run away when dogs came through, but I actually loved dogs.
Absolutely.
So when I grew up, I decided when I do have a child, I want to make sure that he learns very early.
You know what? Not only are they protectors, they teach children so much. There's a responsibility, there's love, there's affection.
Ooh.
I think everybody should have a pet if you can.
I agree with you, Palisa. I still have a pet. Do you?
Girl, I don't have a pet, but I'm thinking of raising some goldfish. Do you even say raising
How
goldfish?
about a frog?
Oh no, my goodness, Jenny! Hi, well, South Africa, oh, Jenny, a whole frog to be a pet. No, girl, you can keep that. But what I love is that we're speaking about pets and what we have in our households, and you touched base on yours, Oreo. Mm-hmm. We've got someone who also shares an Oreo at home. We've got Jolene, who has her 2 dogs, Pepsi and Oreo. How cute! And as we keep going, oh, Jasmine here also has a cat. I mean, how are you feeling?
Wow, Jasmine is doing the most, hey? I love that cat. I'm not a cat person, but I like them from far.
Okay, I also kind of, I feel what you're saying there. Okay, let's keep it going. We have Nick here who shared a picture of him and his awesome dog, Arthur. I mean, how cute. And another picture of him and Arthur. I mean, they both look like characters.
Yeah, because you know how they say, like, after a while, the owner looks like the dog and the dog looks like the owner.
They do. I hope I don't look like a Weimaraner.
How cute. Okay, we've also got Shamim, and Shamim says, this is my fur baby, Milo, and my cousin, Cams. How cute. South Africa,
beautiful.
I now feel like I'm officially part of your family. I now officially feel like I've got a seat right there next to you on that couch and petting those little fur ones. But guys, what can we expect to eat after the break?
We will be making some butter chicken inspired shawarmas using our Clover Classic.
Delicious. All of that coming up.
Express yourself.
Clover Classic, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
Really?
Talk about Monday madness. Today we are going to be filling up those tummies and making sure that you guys do not hunger anymore. We are going to be filling up people's appetites with our shawarma.
I love shawarma.
I'm getting you into the rhythm of singing because, guys, like we mentioned, you must sing to your food, you must talk to your food, you must caress your food, and it's going to turn out perfectly, I promise you.
Caress it.
And caress it
with
and
your
love
mouth.
it. And to make our butter chicken inspired dish, we're going to be using butter chicken spices.
Nice.
So to start it off, I've got my chicken that I've cut into nice big cubes and chunks because we're going to be putting them inside of the wrap that we're going to be using today. But to get all the recipe details, guys, go on to afternoonexpress.co.za. We've got the steps, we've got the recipe ingredients, we've got the cooking time, we've got the serving. Look, we've got everything, okay? So just go onto that website and get everything. So I'm going to get started here. In this first little thingy, I've got some chilies as well as some cumin.
I like a bit of heat.
Yes, because you're hot. Hot girls need heat.
It competes. Can't compete.
I've gone in with some garam masala as well as some turmeric as well, and then I'm going in with a bit of salt.
Lovely.
And I'm also gonna add some pepper.
You have to have pepper.
It's important.
King of spices, doll.
And then I'm just gonna go in with our amazing Clover Classic, and we're just gonna swirl everything together. And the one thing I love about butter chicken mostly needs to marinate and sit and for the flavors to go.
And what's nice about the yogurt, it actually, when I say it breaks down the fibers, it kind of opens them up and allows them to receive all that deliciousness that you've added.
So in a sense, if you were to use this for a red meat, it would sort of tenderize it in a sense.
Very much so.
Correct. So now all I'm going to do is I've just tossed everything together here, and we're just going to leave this aside to marinate and mellow together and get flavorful. And
get to know each other better.
Yes, get better acquainted. So I'm going to leave this over here, but I've got a batch that I made earlier because you know I'm an overachiever, South Africa. Apologies. This is how I roll. We've got some butter chicken inspired chicken that we've already made now. So all I'm going to do, I'm just going to put this in an already greased pan into the oven, and then you're going to cook this, bake this.
Easy peasy, baby.
Yes. Normally you'd make it like a stew on a pot, but I figured, guys, you want as much time as you have nowadays.
It's like tandoori, darling.
Throw it in the oven, keep it in there, and let it do all its magic. And then, luckily for us,
you
like I said, I made magic. So we've got some that we prepared earlier. So this was baked in the oven for, at 200 degrees.
Nice.
For 25 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
So obviously, because you want to make sure your chicken is cooked right.
But it'll be succulent because of the yogurt.
Did you hear that? Succulence,
yes,
opulence. We are about that here in the Afternoon Express kitchen. So now all we're going to do is we both have some wraps. So it's not a competition, South Africa. I hope y'all are watching. Because if it was, I would win. Well, no, not really.
Of course she'll win, because she's young and fast.
But with age comes
experience and wisdom and doddery.
What she said. So we're going to top up our wraps now, our shawarmas. So I've got some chicken that I already roasted earlier, but I don't want to start with that. We actually made some raita as well. So this is perfect for it because, and I used my Clover Classic for that as well, because I love the fact that it's got 10 vitamins.
Everything.
It's creamy and smooth. You could literally put this into your cereal. You could use it as
Put on your face, actually.
Oh, wow.
I'm serious. Makes a beautiful face pack.
I did say experience, right? Years and years of experience. So we're just going to put in a nice thick layer of our raita over there. And in the raita, we've also got this recipe, the ingredients for this on the website as well. So it's just some lemon zest, some cucumber, mint, and our Clover Classic in there as well. So I want to make it nice and thick because this is the only sauce or the only binding agent in a sense that's going to bring everything
It's the glue.
All right, so we just go in. I love making aubergines this way because my mom introduced me to this.
I love them.
And she was like, you're going to eat your veggies. And what she did was she just put them in some flour, some salt, and then she fries them. And they come out nice and crispy. And since then, I don't think I eat eggplants any other way because I don't really like it. But the way my mom makes it is the best way, so I'm going to eat it like that, South Africa.
Do you know that yogurt is like such a staple in the Middle East? And in certain countries, when people left, the one thing that broke the heart of the housekeeper, the mother of the house, was to those beautiful natural yogurts, because they went to countries where you couldn't, but they smuggled it in. You know what they used to do? They used to take, thank goodness for Clover Classic, actually. They used to take a piece of muslin cloth, soak it in the yogurt, because remember it's a live bacteria.
Yes.
And the minute they got to the other side, they would use it as their starter. Because there's no such thing as, like, you know, there's no Clover Classic, because
Yeah.
everybody used to make it themselves from scratch. So I'm very, very grateful.
So thank God for Clover Classic, guys.
me,
You see, and
girl.
the other thing about it is that we're using the Clover Classic plain flavor right now,
Yes.
but they've got such an amazing range where they've even got the sweeter flavors. They've got the strawberry, so you could literally go shop and have the time of your life and choose whichever flavor you like.
You know what I love about the flavoured ones as well is that you can turn them into panna cottas just by adding a bit of gelatine to it and a bit of clover milk from the blue bottle, of
Why are you
course.
showing me up here?
I'm not, because we would do this together, my baby. We would do it together.
Join us for another segment when Jenny Morris will be showing me up on how to make panna cottas with Clover
Hi,
Classic.
Wella.
But all the ingredient details, guys, go into afternoonexpress.co.za and get all the information, and make sure to share this dish with your family, because we're going to be sharing this and having the time of our life. Thank you very much for joining us.
Clover Classic, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
Oh, South Africa, you have just made my day here by sharing your fur babies with me online. And the ladies in the kitchen have also just made my day by creating complete magic with these shawarmas. Ladies, come on in with this delicious goodness.
Thank you, Pale.
Okay, so you can plop that right here. But ladies, whilst we dive into our dinner here, I just want to touch base with everybody online, because we have asked them and encouraged everyone to share their pictures with their little fur babies and wondering who their very first pet was. So we've got Tramira, and Tramira here says, this was a lot. 4 puppies that I recently fostered in June. So grateful to have these little ones, a lifeline. I mean, how beautiful are these little babies here? Whole 4 of them. I mean, can you count that, South Africa?
I love it. The thing about fostering is you've got to keep them forever. You can't just get a pretty puppy and then when it's not pretty anymore, scoop it out.
Yeah, it's like a real life full-on adoption.
Yeah?
I used to think that you actually take them back. You don't?
No, that's what I told my husband with my one dog, Optel.
Oh, wow.
We called her Optel because we lied. We said we're going to foster her, and then we couldn't find a home, so she stayed with us for 13 years.
Oh, wow.
And speaking about dogs staying with you for the long run, we've got Willow here, and such a heartwarming picture. Willow's World here says, apple of my eye. Oh, how cute. Do you guys see that, South Africa? I love the fact that everyone here, it seems like they've got models as pets.
Yes. I see. You know, right? I'm looking at that, and it's so beautiful to see the pictures of our little puppies and kitties.
They're
and all of that.
poses.
They are like
They pose.
model standard.
Mine just gets on a chair and just sits.
Yeah.
He's a poser.
Sorry, ladies, I'm going to dive into food whilst we're enjoying all things social media and those that we love. I'm just going to hug this food as we're hugging our pets. But as we continue on social media, let's just head over there to Sharon. And Sharon says, this is my grandson with Kia, his pit bull. Look at that little darlings and them sleeping. Oh, my heart just melts every single time I see that. Okay, Utramira here is going above and beyond because I think she's literally shared with us so many pictures. I know Zach, Tramira's little one, Zach, whilst we, actually, let me look for the post right now, ladies. So Zach celebrated a birthday, and Zach's birthday was themed around one of our favorite foods in the world, and they even designed a cake after this food.
Oh, wow.
I mean, how cute is this?
You're actually making me think about my dog now, because her birthday is coming up very soon. So maybe I should do that for her as well. A themed.
Make her a liver cake.
Oh,
A liver cake. Make her a liver patty, because you remember you mustn't give dogs chocolate. You mustn't give them raisins. You mustn't give them coffee or avocados. So they would love a liver patty. Can you imagine? You can ice it with cream cheese, baby.
Ooh, that sounds
Great
delicious.
for her, not so much for me, but okay.
Oh, ladies, just before we say goodbye, I have to just end it off with this darling picture. Guys, Snowy. How cute is Snowy?
Oh, look at that.
Let me just scroll up so you guys can enjoy Snowy. I love that. Now join us again tomorrow as we get technical and connect with some of SA's biggest social media influencers. Until then, Mzansi, good night, stay safe, and what? Happy eating! Bye, South Africa.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.